Hi guys, my name's Dan and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you my mature male Orphnaecus species Negros. Now the reason for showing you this is because there isn't much information about this species online. So the other day I was quite shocked to find out that my Orphnaecus species Negros had matured out into its final stage of its life as a mature male. So a couple of things that shocked me about this was just the size of the tarantula. It is very small for a bird spider, a Theraphozidae, and noticed a couple of weird behaviours with this tarantula. So I thought this would be a good idea to share with you guys in case anyone else out there picks up an Orphnaecus species Negros and can't find any information out there. I always believe it's good to add to the collective of information out there on YouTube and Instagram, Reddit, all those social media places, and just raise awareness to help other people when keeping this tarantula. So I came into my tarantula room about 2 weeks ago and I saw the emboli of this Orphnaecus species Negros out, and it confused me for a second because I thought surely this can't be the maximum size of this tarantula. But obviously, if you can see the emboli on a tarantula, this means it is a mature male and it is in the last stage of its life. So the next weird thing that I noticed was the tarantula then decided to pull off one of its own legs, and then a week later it pulled off another one of its legs. Now it ate one of the legs, but the other leg it just left in the enclosure. I haven't checked this morning, it may have eaten that leg as well. But after speaking with Gar from Arachnotube and doing a bit of research online, this can be caused by something called molt trauma, where the tarantula gets stuck inside of its exoskeleton and can't molt properly. So I'm unsure whether this is the case, but obviously with the limited information out there and the hobby always evolving and information always changing, I just thought I would document this for any future reference to anyone out there who needs some sort of information. So this is a mature male Orphnaecus species Negros, and as you can see by the tape measure, it only gets to about 4 centimeters or 2 inches. So it is a very small tarantula. I had no idea that the males were this small, so it was quite shocked to find that this one had fully matured at such a small size. That was one of the legs that the Orphnaecus species Negros had pulled off. I do believe this tarantula did suffer from molt trauma. As you can see, the carapace looks a bit worn and tight, and I don't know, just the tarantula looks uncomfortable. So I do believe that most of the tarantula is still stuck inside its old exoskeleton. Now, I don't know what caused this, but it could have been a husbandry error. There is not much information out there on this species, so I just kept this one moist like any other Asian fossorial species. It ate regularly and I never noticed anything strange up until this last stage of its life. As you'll see from a clip later on, it still has some life in it and it does give me a decent threat posture, as the old worlds are notoriously well known for. When I first received this tarantula, it was about half this size it is now, which was about a year ago. And the tarantula was very leggy from this stage, so I just assumed it was a mature, or not a mature male, but a male. So if you have an Orphnaecus species Negros and you notice it to be very leggy and, the carapace and abdomen seem to be a bit lighter in a tan colour, then I do believe this is a telltale sign that you have got a male in your collection. I believe the females get a lot darker than the male counterpart. Even though this is a mature male, I still like to offer it prey items once a week. It never tastes anymore, but it's always nice to give your tarantula the option to eat. I mean, at least once a week, that is. As you can see, he's just not interested anymore, and his only goal now is to find a mate, obviously. This is what happens when you get a mature male. They will tend to ignore food and just wander around their enclosure. Now, because of the molt trauma of this tarantula, I haven't seen him wander very much. So I do believe he is in some sort of discomfort. As you can see, he gives me quite a nice threat posture there. He doesn't slap. I don't believe he's got the energy to slap at the moment, as he's very sluggish. But yeah, I mean, even though this is a mature male, I'm slightly sad because this was one of those tarantulas in my collection which was so unique and it had such a personality, and it was always ferocious when it came to feeding. So yeah, I'm a bit sad that this is a mature male, but this is just one of the things that, you know, happens with the hobby, and sometimes you just get unlucky and you get a mature male. I have reached out to people to try and find a mature female for this guy, but so far I've not managed to find anyone. If you do come across an Orphnaecus species Negros when you're in the market to buy a tarantula, I highly recommend this if you're into old world species. Like I said, it's just been a fantastic tarantula in my collection. This was the first time this tarantula has given me a threat posture, so I don't believe they're an extremely defensive species. I do believe that obviously temperaments can vary from, you know, species to species, but this particular one I've had hasn't really given me much problem. I believe he's only threat posturing me now, obviously because he is uncomfortable and he has nowhere to run, because I don't think he can run at the moment, and he just feels threatened. So on the subject of Asian old world tarantulas, if you do get this species or any other species similar to this, then keep them in substrate which is always moist. I never let this one dry out. I provided a cork bark hide after about a week of owning this tarantula, because before I just made a starter burrow in the enclosure and the tarantula did not burrow. But after adding the cork bark hide, the tarantula the next day went straight to the hide and then straight underneath it. So I do believe they do need somewhere to like establish their hide. Maybe this is because they live in the roots of trees and undergrowth in the Negros island where they originate from. Again, I'm not an expert, and obviously this tarantula has experienced molt trauma, so this may not be the correct information, but obviously I've kept this tarantula alive for so long, and you know, he's eaten regularly up until now. So I'm not sure if this is a husbandry error or just one of those things that happens when this tarantula experienced the molt trauma. I'm just going to put some water on the webbing just so he's got somewhere to stay hydrated. I don't want him to have to walk too far to his water dish. As you can see, he's still got some of his attitude left. I mean, this has been a fantastic spider for me. I am upset that this is a mature male, but obviously I can replace this with another tarantula in my collection. And if I do come across an Orphnaecus species Negros in the future, I will be sure to buy one again. When a tarantula is new to the hobby and is still relatively undescribed, such as the species Negros, it is always a joy to, you know, try and help figure out how to care best for these tarantulas. So I would definitely be looking for another Orphnaecus species Negros in the future. So as a thank you for helping me reach 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a t-shirt giveaway. So to enter this competition, first of all you must be subscribed to my YouTube channel. You must then enter in the comments down below t-shirt please, and in my next video I will announce the winner chosen at random from the comments down below. Also, I would like to say thank you to everyone who gave me feedback on my first part of the Arachnophobia series. The feedback was absolutely incredible, and I was wrong for thinking that you guys wouldn't enjoy the content, and you were all so supportive and, you know, very adamant about how good this is for the hobby, and it means so much to me that you guys agree with what I think. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the rest of this 5-part series, and you know, if I can just help at least one person cure their arachnophobia, or if I can just convince one person to get into the tarantula keeping hobby, then I have done a job well done. Thank you, goodbye.